We'd like to welcome back to CBT News Mr. Pete McGinnis, who is the founder and CEO of eLens Solutions. Pete, welcome to CBT News again.
Jim,
love having you.
Thank you so much for inviting me back.
Sure. So Congress recently approved a resolution to repeal the CFPB's dealer participation guidance, as you know. I want to talk to you about how that might impact consumers, dealers, and lenders. I also want to talk to you about finance in general as it relates to buzzwords like transparency and digital retailing. Everybody is kind of preaching that these days, right? What does it all mean? So a couple of years ago, as you know, the CFPB came down hard on auto lenders, with big fines for discriminating against certain minority groups as it relates to dealer participation, as you know, and that's been a hot topic. What was this dealer participation guidance all about?
Well, for many decades, probably when you and I started back in the business so long ago,
Sure.
There's always been a dealer participation program.
That's right.
Where lenders basically set a buy fee
Right.
to the dealer.
Right.
And it was all determined based upon the consumer's qualifications.
That's right.
How they qualified and how the vehicle qualified.
Right. Good point.
And then they took that, and then from that standpoint, they allowed the dealer to mark it up
Yeah.
for their arranging the financing.
Right.
So the dealer was
Right.
providing a service.
Sure.
And so in that model, the CFPB looked at that, and they felt that the difference between the lender's buy rate and the contract APR,
Right.
that minorities were paying a higher spread
Sure.
than non-minorities.
Right. And I don't know if that was the case or not. I obviously the CFPB, launched into that big investigation to see what that was all about. But do you think that was a true situation?
I don't think it had much to do with the lender's decisionings,
Right.
because it was the dealers that were setting the rates.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it really wasn't within the lender's control; it was the dealers.
Right.
But they didn't regulate the dealers, so they had to attack it that way.
Yeah, sure.
So from the lender's perspective, the CFPB didn't have any real credible evidence to do that, but yet they imposed those outrageous fines on the lenders, and I think it was an overreach.
Right.
And obviously that's led to this Congress coming back and saying we're going to undo this.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to give the lenders their money back, though.
No, I don't think they will either, which is unfortunate for the lenders, I guess. So do you think this is good news for dealers?
Oh, of course. I think it's
Yeah.
really good news for dealers, because now that's a profit center for the dealer. So they get to make more profit in the finance.
For sure.
And
It
then
has been
secondly,
for years.
and it also gives them some negotiating power. When they're
Right.
dealing with the purchase or the trade-in.
That's right.
They can do some give and take. So
That's right.
it really helps them with their total profitability.
That's right. In a lot of cases, it puts people into cars. I mean, so I guess the follow-up would be, do you think it's good for consumers?
Oh, absolutely. It's good for consumers. So from that standpoint, when you look at the whole argument of that, for consumers, it's enabling, they're still getting the same contract APR on average that they would be getting if it was a direct consumer loan or not. So the end rate to the consumer is about the same.
Yeah.
The difference is the dealer now gets to participate in that.
Right.
So it's a win-win for both.
Right. So now let's talk about digital retailing, which is has been a buzzword now for the last couple of years in our industry. As you know, more and more people are talking about it. Dealers are talking about it. Some are trying to get geared up for it, and I know the same holds true on the lender side as well. So how do you think dealer participation and all of that will play into digital retailing and the tools that are offered to dealers?
Well, I don't think it is yet. It's not there yet today. But what that does is that whole dealer markup issue and the lack of transparency about it really shows how archaic
Yeah,
the whole finance process is.
Yeah.
That's something that happens downstream sometime later, sometimes even after the consumer's even left the dealership, before the lender knows or the dealer knows, based on lender decisions,
Right.
how much he's going to make on that side. So it's very archaic, and it's still kind of a backroom thing that happens somewhere downstream.
Is finance holding back digital retailing from achieving its goal?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So consumers, they want to do what? Three primary things. They want to negotiate the price of the vehicle. They want to get a good indication of what their value will be on their trade-in.
That's right.
And payments are as important as price to them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe
Yes.
maybe more important.
Yeah, but the first two are there, I think, in digital retailing, and I think the financing piece is still lagging far behind.
We see digital retailing solutions providing terms online such as purchase for $299 and per month with $1,000 down for 60 months all the time. That's not transparency right there?
No, not at all. So when you think about those usually come along with the fine print that says on Tier 1 approved credit, something along that line.
Yeah, right.
And so most manufacturers have multiple credit tiers, and there's a reason for that. Some have as much as 14 different credit tiers that customers qualify for.
Oh my God.
So if you're advertising on tier 1 and you've
Right.
got 14 credit tiers,
Right.
you're kind of setting that customer up with a false expectation.
Oh, and there's no question.
So
Yeah.
you want to give them something, so you throw out something
Right.
as a teaser, but that just perpetuates the distrust when
It
they get to
does.
the dealer level.
It does, for sure.
Yeah.
So what needs to happen with auto finance to meet consumer demand and their expectations?
Well, pretty simple. Finance needs to move forward during the sales negotiation process. It needs to take and match that consumer's qualifications up to that vehicle of interest, match to those lender programs. That needs to move forward up in the process during the negotiation process, whether that's online or in the store.
And talk to us a little bit about what that looks like when you say move forward. Drill down a little bit. What do you mean move forward in the deal for the dealers that are listening?
It means taking that customer, getting as much information as you can early in the process, matching what's going on online, and when they walk into the store, that information's got to be connected.
Yeah.
And if consumers want to do more of it online, including financing, then get them into that process. Because if you give them what they want, they're going to give you what you want. So get more information from them. Now you can make a better decision on how to build a profitable deal for yourself.
Pete McGinnis with eLend Solutions, thank you so much for joining us on CBT News. We want to have you back and to do a follow-up on some of these other items that we want to talk about with you, because this really is at the forefront of a lot of dealers' mind. How are they going to handle digital retailing to begin with, and then what does the finance picture part of that look like? So thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me, and I look forward to that as well.